Hi my beautiful friends, welcome to Tanita Makes Crochet Items. Today's video is gonna be like an updated video. I know I'm still not the best at doing tutorials, but hopefully I can make you understand the stitches. So what I did was the Burst of Kindness crown, which apparently I'm known for, is a video that I kind of made for Hat Not Hate. And basically, long story short, it was to help me know which hat was made by me. Kind of because it's in a spiral. So this is the crown that I'm going to show you how to do. And this is a 6 count. So in the extended single. And I'm going to work it out and show you how I do it. I'm going to talk a little bit, but for the most part, it's just going to be a crochet with me type video. So, I mean, grab your 4-weight, a hook of your desire. I did use a 4-weight and a 5.5 to get this gauge swatch, but you do what is comfortable for you. Just follow the instructions. Destructions? What do you call it? Anyway, long story short, if you would like to work in this one, by all means, stick around. Okay, so this is 2026 Bursts of Kindness update with extended singles. So you're going to go ahead and do whatever number you want to start with. Let's do 6. So you're going to do basically 6 extended singles. So you're going to go in the loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. That's your first extended single. Do that 5 more times. And 6. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cinch this close. Okay. And I'm going to put my stitch marker on this stitch that's kind of hanging out here. So I don't know if I can turn the flash on here, but you're going to have the anatomy of the stitch. You're going to have the V stitch here, and then you're going to have the extended single, which is this stitch here. Okay, so you're going to put an extended single on the V, and then you're going to put around this post as such. So go into the V, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through. So that's 1. You're going to yarn, go into the post of that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 2 stitches. And repeat that all the way around. At the end of this row, you should have 12 stitches. last stitch. And around the post. All right, so now what you're gonna see is you're gonna have 2 stitches, so you can see the extended single a little bit better. So going forward, all the stitches are pretty much gonna be the same. The first one is always gonna go inside the extended single, and then you're gonna increase. That's 1 on top and then a front post. Okay, so the row 3, 1 inside, 1 on top, and 1 around the post. At the end of row 3, you will have 18 stitches. So that was 1. Did you see how I went inside that stitch? I'm gonna go into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and then you're gonna go around the post, so here's the V. You're gonna go in between the legs, go on the top of the stitch, and then you're gonna go around the post. Just keep going in the stitch, on top of the stitch, around the post, in the stitch, on top of the stitch, and around the post. In the stitch. See how it's going in between the legs there? On top of the stitch and around the post. Last one. Go in the stitch, on top of the stitch, and around the post. So, actually let me take the stitch marker out so you can kind of see it better. Put it over the stitch here. Alright, so as you can see, because this is a 6-point burst of kindness, it's gonna, it looks like a starfish right now, because it's kind of already curving. Okay, so basically all you do for a burst of kindness extended single is always gonna go into the stitches, but when you get to the post, you could increase, and you could put 1 on top and then 1 around the post, and you just repeat that until you get it to the length of your hand, from the bottom of your palm to the top of your middle finger. Should be roughly the size of your crown, which when I start with 6, I usually go to 10 rows, which will give me 60 count. But if you start with a different number, like 8, I like to do 8 sometimes, or 10, whichever is your preference. You just go to the length that you need it to be. So that's row, the next row, which is row 4. You're going to put 2 extended singles. Remember, extended single goes in the extended. Put 1 on top, so that's 3 stitches, and then you're going to put 1 around the post, so that's 4 stitches. So we're on row 4. See? So V, V, top, and post. And just carry this tail until it disappears. Because if I could get to just one sewing, I've mastered it. So 2 extended singles, increase, 1 on top, and 1 around the post. And 4. Okay, so you're just going to repeat that until, like I said, you get to the row that you want it to be. So as you can see, the posts are already curving. I'm going to keep going and crochet silently, and then you guys keep going and I'll meet you back. So 3 extended singles, increase, 1 on top, 1 around the post. You should have 5. We're on row 5. That's row 5. Going to row 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 extended singles, increase, 1 on top, 1 around the post. 7, that's row 6. Going to row 7, you're going to have 5 extended singles and then an increase. One on top and one around the post. Six and 7. Right, there is row 7, and as you can see, it is starting to swirl a little bit more. Now, if you don't like this pointing part, you can always just stretch that out a little bit. But what I notice is when I start with an 8, it's not as pointy. But again, it's up to you. The original one that I started with was always 6 because my multiples of 6 was easier to memorize, stitch count wise. And then if, I don't know how well you can see that, but because it's going inside of each of the V's, it makes it look more knit, in my opinion. So we're going to go to row 8 because as you can see, probably got 2 more inches to go. So we're going to extended single in the next 6 stitches, and then increase. And to increase, you go on top and then around the post. And just repeat that all the way around. So depending on what stitch count you started with, in my case it's 6, and we're doing 6 times 8 is 42, I think, right? I don't know. We'll count it at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's 1. $40, $48. Going to row 9, and almost there. So that's 7 extended singles and then an increase. So depending on what row you're on is the number of stitches that you have. We're on row 9, you should have 9 stitches. 9. Alright, so we're going to do one more time. So row 10, you're going to have 8 extended singles and then an increase, which is 1 on top and 1 around the post. At the end of row 10, you should have 60 stitches if you started with a 6 count. Got 2 more sections. Okay, last section. One around the post is 10. remove the stitch marker. Alright, I'm going to put this right here so that I don't lose the stitch. So there you have it. There is your burst of kindness in extended singles. As you can see, it's at a curve. It's like that's why I like to. Sorry. Alright, so this is basically the size of my hand each way. From the bottom of my palm to the top of my middle finger should be the size of your crown. But I don't have a tape measure on me, but depending on what it is, my hand is about 6 inches. So measure accordingly. So that is the burst of kindness in extended singles. What I would do next is just put an extended single in each stitch around, and then you can start the body of the hat. But for the most part, this is just a flat circle. This is the inside, and this is the top. I like the ridges and I like the look of it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to message me or leave a comment, and I will try to help as best as I can. But I will come up with a design for this particular hat. Hope to see you soon. Take care. And as always, thank you for watching, and love yourself so you can love everyone else. I'll see you around. Take care.